This is the outgoing Opel Corsa, produced from 2006 right up until the end of 2014, and in 2011 it was given a minor facelift. This particular model I have is the 3-door SXI with the 1.2 litre petrol engine. You could also have a couple of other different petrol engines and diesels. It also has the VXR styling exterior kit, which looks quite nice in this particular model. It's also got a decent sized boot, and the interior is a rather nice place to be as well. It's got side impact airbags. It's also got very nice red on the centre of the seats, as well as red stitching. I also really like the gauges on it as well, very similar to my Astra. They look very sporty. The overall interior is quite a nice place to be. Goes, well, it's got a 1.2 litre petrol engine and it's quite economical. That's the whole point of it. However, when you put your foot down, in any gear, it doesn't feel like it's got a ton of power. It doesn't really pull hard, and some of the interior trims, specifically around air conditioning controls and the glove box lid, they don't kind of feel like they're high quality. They feel a little low rent. I always kind of felt that these cars could be finished a bit better than they were. But it's a good car overall. As I said, it's been around since 2006, sold very well in very high numbers to a lot of people. But apparently this car has come to the end of its life, and Opel have now brought out a new Corsa which is meant to be better in every single way. So why don't we go and take a look at that. And so here is the new 2015 Corsa. So to design this car, what Opel have done is actually take two of their hatchbacks and combine them together to make this. So at the front it has a very similar front fascia, mostly inspired by the little Adam City car that I've also previously reviewed. And it looks really good. I actually really like the new front grille. It's got very nice front headlights as well. And as you can see, these nice lines here which taper off down into the bumper and around and back up the other side. It's also got very nice 16-inch alloy wheels, very stylish, they look quite good. But front ventilated steel disc brakes with solid drums in the rear. And speaking of the rear of this car, it's mostly inspired off the Astra. And it kind of makes sense because right now the Corsa actually fits in the model line right between the Adam and the Astra. Looks quite good. Boot space in this car is actually quite good as well. It's got 282 litres of room. I've got some of my filming stuff in here. Might be a little on the small side, but for a Super Mini of this type, this is roughly the kind of boot space you can expect. Unfortunately, the rear seat folding down is a bit of a disappointment. For one, it's not padded on the back, as you can see, it's just exposed metal. And second of all, it does leave a very large lip behind. And third of all, it's not a split 60-40 configuration. As you can see, the whole thing just goes down in one piece. So boot space maybe could be a little bit better, but in saying that, like I said, for a Super Mini of this type, it's really roughly what you would expect. So we'll take a look at the back seat area. Now if I sit in here on the left side, where the passenger seat is, in its default setting, legroom really isn't too bad at all. And headroom is on the good side as well, it's not too bad. However, I have the driver's seat moved into my driving position, and if I just move over to this side a bit, you can see that the legroom isn't really the best. My knees are more or less touching the back of that seat. So basically, back seat area is quite good as long as the occupants in the front aren't quite tall, because if they are, their seat's going to have to move back, and well, that kind of isn't great for the rear passengers because they're going to be lacking a bit in legroom. So for the interior of the new Corsa, lots of new features, and the first one I'd like to point out is the steering wheel. It's a lovely leather wrap. It's got 3 spokes, nice decorative design piece down here, lovely 9-inch notches, and it's an electronic rack and pinion power assisted steering, and it's excellent. It's got a lovely feedback, and also it has this little button here marked City, and this here basically lightens up the steering so it becomes even lighter, which is amazing. It's a lovely feature to have, especially if you're driving around towns or cities where lots of tight corners and stuff. It's a very handy feature to have, and it's also got cruise control located here and your standard radio controls off to the right. And also, as you can see down here, it's got automatic headlights. And then we get to the trip computer. Everything can be operated using just the menu button and by twisting this. So for example, it's giving me the fuel consumption at the moment. I have 138 kilometers to go until the tank is empty, and as you can see right above it on the left, it's got a completely digital fuel gauge and oil temperature readout. And you got another computer menu here, and another one. And if we press the menu button, it gives me the tire load units. You can set them in metric, miles or kilometers, and the tire pressure, as well as remaining oil life, and that's pretty much it really. I really like the new gauges as well. This whole speedo cluster is actually laid out pretty much the exact same as the new Insignia. And then we get to the new radio. Now this here is the IntelliLink unit, all touchscreen, and sound quality is very good as well from it. You can operate the volume from here. So I'm just going to turn it down a wee bit, and I'll go through some of the features in this car. So if I press the home button, and I should mention it's very sensitive. Once you have your phone, especially something like an iPhone paired, you can go through your gallery. So that would be like photos, music, videos, and so on. And you can even control your applications off it. Especially if the app TuneIn Radio, which I actually do have on my iPod. And you can also connect your phone to the Bluetooth system. If I just go to the audio, you can set between things such as the USB and the auxiliary input located down there. And you got all your radio stations laid out. So if I press menu, for example, you can go through your favorite list, all the FM stations, and so on. All your basic audio settings really. And if I go back in here, you can just go into the settings, and again, all your standard stuff in here: time and date, radio settings, connection for things such as the Bluetooth, vehicle settings, and I believe there's another page. And you can even turn on and off that little beep that you hear every time we press something on the radio. So really, the new IntelliLink system is absolutely brilliant. It's easy to use. You got things down here such as your time and date and your outside temperature meter reading, and up there little icons for the USB plug-in, Bluetooth, etc. So other things you got on the dash here, you have a heated steering wheel, which is very nice to have, and as I was saying, the city mode for the steering. You can also heat the passenger seat as well as the driver's seat, and then you got your standard lock and unlock buttons. It's got very nice chrome trim going around here, as well as the black piano glass finish going around as well. Very shiny, looks very, very decorative. This car also has an auto dimming interior mirror. Vanity mirrors, there's no illumination for them on this particular car. So coming into the center console, you got your air conditioning. So it's located by the little snowflake here. And all the controls, they have nice resistance to them. Good feedback. It's also got two integrated cup holders, as well as this 12-volt power outlet off to the left here alongside the auxiliary and USB plugins. It's also got a nice 5-speed manual gearbox, and if you pull up in the lever in the front, left and up, you can engage reverse. Storage areas in this car, there's a few of them. I'll admit the glove box isn't great. As you can see, it's quite small. It's there really purely to accommodate this handbook. It does have small door bins off to each side, and you also got two integrated cup holders down there, tiny little storage area under the handbrake lever, as well as two cup holders in the back, and that's really more or less it. You can just see here how big the map pockets are. So let's go and take the Corsa for a drive and see how it performs. Okay, so my first drive of the brand new Corsa. First thing I want to talk about again is the interior. When driving along, I really like it. I love the new fit and finish and everything in here. I love the steering wheel, and there's even a little indicator down here that actually recommends what gears you should change into, so just tell me there's the one you fit. I really like the new speedo cluster setup. Like I said, it's the same as the new Insignia. It's very nice, so it is. Like this readout in the center. It's a lovely touch to the car. And then we got all around rear visibility. It has a very big rear window, which is nice. It's got front quarter windows here, which is nice, for navigating around town. Large side windows, nice big windscreen, a lot. So good marks so far. Drive past now. I'm gonna see what the power is like. Certainly feels like it has much better acceleration than the 1.2 Corsa I was driving just a moment ago. So I should talk you through the engine. It's a 1.4 litre EcoFlex petrol, and you know what's very nice so it is, it's actually rather quiet, so it is. You can't really hear too much when cruising along. It produces about 88 brake horsepower with a top speed of 110 miles per hour. Produces about 95 foot-pounds of torque, and Opel say this car can do about 55 miles per gallon. I know what I'd say it can. Economical little engine, nice little hatchback like this, I'd say it's very economical. But driving out here in the bypass, you know, it's smooth, it's quiet, very little road noise gets in, you know, it's just a lovely, comfortable place to be. Speaking of comfort, these seats are really nice as well. These might have a side upholstering here, good thigh support, you know, very nice to sit in. Okay, so let's go and see about this power once more. It's got a revvy little engine, that's for sure. It does accelerate very well, so it does. Really nice. So in a moment we're going to be coming out to some back roads and we're going to see what the ride quality is like, and we're also going to be able to test out, you know, this brand new electric rack pinion power assisted steering. I'm also going to try it out with city mode as well to see what that's like going around some of the tighter bends. Okay, so there's a few narrow bumpy bits out here, and I confirm that the suspension is doing an excellent job of absorbing them. This car actually up front has McPherson strut suspension, and in the rear it has a semi-independent torsion beam rear. Now normally torsion beams are not the most comfortable, but I have to say in these back roads it's doing quite a good job. Seems to be very comfortable going over a lot of these very steep dips in the road that there are. And the handling is excellent as well. Now there's going to be another set of back roads that we're going to out later, and we're going to put it in city mode and we're going to see what the handling is like on its lightest setting. Right now I'm very happy with the way this car handles itself. It's really good. Gear changes are very nice as well from this 5-speed manual gearbox. Okay, so let's put my steering into its lightest setting as we come up to these next set of back roads. We'll see how it does. So these are a lot narrower and a lot twistier, so lighter setup a lot nicer to use, and so far it feels very good. Going down a very steep hill here. I must say the suspension of this car is doing a very good job, because these roads are a bit rough and you'd want a nice comfy car when going over them. And the Corsa, I gotta say, it's doing very well for itself. That corner here, the third, over this bridge. The steering is excellent and the car grips so well, so it does. It really holds itself well on the road. Okay, so I'm on my way back to Herrenauto at the moment. So my overall opinions on this car. First off, I really do like it. It's a lovely car to drive. It's got a lovely new interior. I like the IntelliLink touchscreen unit. It's excellent. The steering in this car is excellent as well. Excellent feedback from the electric power assist, and also the little city mode is excellent too. And of course this comes with heated seats and a heated steering wheel. All those lovely little joys. I believe that all the heated stuff is part of the winter pack, which is just one of the optional extras you can get for this car. I'm going to list everything, you know, such as prices and specs below. This particular Corsa is the Excite, which is the kind of mid-range model. You can have this, or you can have the entry-level S or the high-spec SE. Now you get the the first two trims with the 3-door Corsa, but instead of an SE you can have what I think is called the limited edition model. It's basically a sportier one. It has all the SRI sports exterior kit, and it has some sporty interior bits as well. Things I'm not a big fan of. I think there could be a few more storage spaces on the interior, if I'm honest. The glove box is there purely to accommodate just, you know, the handbook. Other things, I know it's only a little super mini, but I think they could have given a lot more room in the back seat. To be honest, the legroom is a bit on the small side realistically. Boot isn't too bad though. Other things I'm not a big fan of. There's nothing wrong with the rear of this car as such. It is based off the current Astra, but I think I can't help getting the feeling every time I look at it that the designer done an excellent job at the front, and they came to the back of it and thought, You know, I'm not going to redesign this, I'll just do a copy and paste job from the Astra, because it looks so much like the Astra from the back. It looks like a bit of a lazy design. I think it could have done a bit more with it, and you know, it made the car look that little bit more unique, set it apart really from the rest of the range. But other than that though, you know, it's a lovely looking car to drive, so it is. The 1.4 litre engine is economical, it's got decent power, so really I can't complain too much. So I think that pretty much summarizes this review. Please check the description box underneath Heron Auto's contact details. I will have all the prices, as I said, listed below. So for now, thanks for watching. Please remember to rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys again soon.